Hey you guys, so I am here with kind of a different video. I apologize, Harland is up from his nap. I had enough time to get my makeup done and that's about it. So he is kind of wandering around. I'm praying to God he's not going to try to mess with the camera or the tripod or anything like that, but I can't promise anything. Basically, this is a video that I wanted to do for you guys to kind of do an update. It's going to be a video of two things. It's going to be the follow-up on our Whole30, and it's also going to be kind of a life update. I know I just did a life update, but this is a pretty serious life update that I feel like I need to share with you guys for a couple of reasons that I'll get into in a minute. Starting with the Whole30, if you Whole30ers want to watch this portion, that is fantastic. This video is going to be kind of long. I will do the Whole30 portion first, and then I will do the life update in the second half. If you want to just skip to the life update, I'll put below or right here on the screen, I'll put right here what time on the video you can skip to. So Whole30, we quit day 21. This is hysterical and this is a completely ironic video only just because I completely committed to doing the Whole30 socially on social media. I committed on Facebook, I committed on YouTube, I committed on Instagram. I asked you guys if you would want updates. I mean, you name it, I kind of went above and beyond. So to quit, you know, socially like that is Harlan no touch. Is kind of crazy. I mean, it's silly, I know it sounds silly, but I assure you there are many a reason that we quit. The main reason that we quit our Whole30 is because of a lot of the personal issues that we were going through. Harlan wants up. Look how crazy this kid's hair is. Look at this. He just got up from his nap, so he's like... So because of a lot of the personal issues and situations we are going through as a family right now, nothing really bad. Well, it's not that it's not bad. It's just we're going through a lot right now. And because of the amount of stress we were under with all those things and then Brian getting really sick, the amount of stress that it put us under was insane. And we were beginning to have a really bad association with the Whole30, and we were kind of starting to actually hate it, which we didn't. We've completed Whole30s before, so it was kind of like we knew how good we could feel and we knew how good it feels to complete a Whole30, but for whatever reason we just had a really bad taste in our mouth, and we shouldn't have started a Whole30 anyways, to be honest with you. With everything that's going on in our life right now, it was really a stupid idea, to be honest. So take that into consideration when you start a Whole30. The reason I wanted to share with you guys why I felt it was important to share our failure with you is because not only did I commit to doing updates with you guys, you know, I also think it's really important to, you know, vlog or blog or whatever you want to call it, failures too. I mean, you know, we're human beings and we're so completely imperfect and we fail on the daily. So I just felt like it was really, really important to share with you guys that we failed and that we're human and that it happens. We don't feel guilty about it. We don't have any bad feelings, you know, towards each other for kind of, I don't know, not egging each other on to quit, but we kind of kept asking, like, are we sure we want to keep doing this? Man, we are miserable. Like, we were just miserable. So anyways, and then with Brian being sick, it was just like a recipe for disaster. So anyways, we chose to quit. We will definitely do another one. Yeah, so I don't want you guys to look at us as failures or people who quit, because we don't. But like I said, we finished them before. It just, this time was just, we shouldn't have started it to begin with. So, okay, so on to the second part of this video. There are a lot of reasons that I wanted to do this video. Ironically enough, I have been thinking about doing this video for about 3 or 4 days now, and it's ironic because this morning I was watching a video that Raw Christy Beauty did. If you guys aren't following her, you need to follow her, my makeup gals. And guys, she's insanely talented and hysterical and very real. But anyways, she happened to do a video that I watched today about, you know, the misconceptions of YouTube and how you subscribe to these channels and you watch these people and their lives just seem perfect and everything's just la-di-da, and you assume they live these beautiful lifestyles because they seem perfect. But the reality is, everybody has demons and everybody's going through crap and everything like that. I don't feel like that's ever documented, ever. Like, all you ever see is positive stuff. You never see the negative. But there can be major beauty in negative things. So that's kind of why I wanted to do this, because I felt like it was important to empower people to talk about the negative in their life and to share and to get advice. And everything nowadays is so impersonal. You're texting instead of talking. You're not meeting for coffee anymore. You're calling somebody on the phone or emailing them. And anyways, so the main reason I wanted to do this was to actually talk with you guys and share with you guys and yeah, just be real. Sure, it's really personal stuff, and a lot of people are going to be sitting there going, why are you sharing your personal stuff over the internet and broadcasting that? I see where you're coming from. However, I feel like we are not empowered enough now as the human race to share our feelings. I feel like if I'm able to share with you guys my situation and inspire somebody to maybe make a really courageous move that they're really afraid to make, I would love to be that person to encourage you guys to do that. Really, really long story short, my husband and I and my little tiny family are in a incredibly difficult financial situation. Before we got into said situation, we were fine. We both had jobs. We bought a house. We got married. We bought a house. We were told by 5 different providers that I was not going to get possible at all. And if it was possible, it was like a tiny, tiny chance that I could get pregnant. So it just wasn't an option for us. We stopped trying. So we just kind of put it in the backs of our head and we just decided to make the courageous move to buy a house. Sure enough, we buy a house. 2 months later, I'm pregnant. God is amazing and he's incredible. And Harland, my first baby, was such a huge blessing and we were so excited, but because having kids was off the table for us, we didn't investigate the funding part of it. You know, how much kids cost to have, how much daycare costs. It literally cost us more to have Harland in daycare than it did for me to work. So we obviously made the decision for me to stay home. From there, things kind of downward spiraled. You know, Harland was in the NICU and that bill was insane. And I mean, period, just having a kid is expensive, and the diapers and the formula and everything just kind of started to pile up. And then Brian's hours got cut, so he had to pick up a second job, and he's working 6 days a week and we never see him, and our marriage started to suffer and our relationships with God started to suffer. And then again, this all just kind of domino effects, right? It just snowballs, and then all of a sudden you're not the best mom that you can be and the best wife that you can be. And I started getting depressed and anxious and I mean, you name it, things just went from bad to worse. Every single day it got worse. Now fast forward to 2.5 years later, we now have 2 kids. I mean, I got pregnant 8 months when Harland was 8 months old, and again, it was like, wow, what a blessing, but okay, like we can't do this. Like we can't do this. Again, it was one more thing added to the pile, and then things started going wrong with the house. We had to replace the roof. We had to replace the water heater. We had a mold problem. 2 of our 4 appliances went out, so we had to replace appliances. And I mean, you name it. It just was one thing after another. And it just got to that point where we were just like, we can't do this anymore. We were getting a bunch of help from our family members that neither of us are good at getting help from people. But a bunch of people were starting to kind of rally around us and help us out. And we just kind of realized that we couldn't do it anymore. And so from there, we gave up completely. We almost lost our house, and it was to the point where we couldn't pay our mortgage. And here we were sitting there going, what do? We don't have any other options. Like, especially now our 2 kids, there's no way we can afford daycare. My husband's already working 2 jobs. For those of you thinking, why doesn't he just get another job? Not that easy. He were so stubborn and we were so afraid to take the only step that really we had available to us, and that was to sell our house. We're like, no, absolutely not. We are not selling the one thing that we have. That is the one thing that we have besides our car. We're not going to give that up. It's the roof over our head. It's where our children were born and grew up and started walking and talking, and it wasn't an option for us. We were too stubborn to give that up. And literally when the situation came to a head, we decided to sit down and look at the numbers, and we came to realize, and it was brought to our attention, that what was the biggest burden to us, our house, was soon to become the biggest blessing. What I mean by that is the numbers came to show that not only would we make enough money off of our house to literally pay off every single debt that we have, but we would make enough money off of our home to have a very decent nest egg once we paid everything off. And we both literally we broke down, we were rejoicing, we were praising Jesus. We just could not believe the situation that he had presented to us and why we were so stubborn, and why didn't we just take that leap of faith and trust that God had our backs. And yeah, so that's basically the process that we're in right now. There are a couple things that we need to do to get our house ready to sell. But man, it's going to be a huge blessing once we're finished with this, and we've been given the opportunity to live with somebody who can not only help us out. We will be able to continue to save money, but we will also be able to, yes, thank you. We will also be able to help this person out. And it's not permanent, but it's not perfect either. You know, obviously it's not permanent. We would love to, have 10 to 20% to put down on our next house, so that we are not put in the situation, or so that we're not putting ourselves in the situation that we did with this house. But we also want a really big chunk of money in our savings account, and our next living situation that we're again being blessed with is going to make that possible for us. So as a young family, we completely realize that it's like, hello, you guys are, I'm 28. You're not expected to have your life together by then. You're not expected to be making $120,000 a year. You're not expected to own a house and 5 cars and a boat and have 10, 20 grand in your kids' college funds. Like, you're not expected that at our age, but to be given the opportunity to have a really good head start on that is incredible to me. And for those of you who are believers in Jesus, that give it to God and put your eggs in one basket and just say, Father, you got this. Like, let go and let God, and just have faith and trust in him and his process, and man, the blessings just come rolling in to just show that you can face some of the darkest of days, and there is an incredible light at the end of the tunnel. So whatever it is that you're going through, whether it's financial, whether it's problems with your marriage, whether it's problems with your kids, your parents, your job, if you're going through a dark depression, I've been there. Whether you believe in God or not, I would just encourage you to have faith in whatever it is that you believe in. Have faith in yourself. Have faith that you can pull through, and there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And it always helps me to remember that there's always somebody out there that has it worse than you. Always. So I hope that this video helps somebody. I hope that it helps you feel closer to me. I hope that it helps you see that life is so imperfect, but it is so perfectly imperfect. And it's things like this that allow us to see the value of life and the value of having beautiful kids, and that it's not what you have as far as materialistic things go, but what you have as far as friends and family and love and just really amazing things. The situation's just completely humbled me. So if you need to talk to somebody, comment on this video, or message me, or yeah, just follow me on Instagram, or, you know, whatever, any way, any means that you can get into contact with me, feel free to. I would love to be there for you. I may not be going through or have gone through what you're going through personally, but I'm a good listener, and I really feel like I could be a good support system for you. Or I would encourage you to open up to your church family, or your family, or good friends, or mentors that you have in your life. It's important to have those people to bounce ideas off of. And yeah, so anyways, I love you guys, and I hope that this video touches somebody, and I'm proud to say that my life is perfectly imperfect, and it only goes up from here. So I love you guys, and I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.